Okay, we are going to start this afternoon session. And this afternoon, I'd like to talk about scaling of scores. And what do we mean when we say scaling of scores? And in this presentation, we are going through some formulas that will be involved in the scaling of scores. So can you see the power presentation, which entitled Scaling of Scores?
Yes.
Okay. So that is our presentation for this afternoon. And scaling of scores comes at the end of all assessment tasks. After you have set your examination for all subjects. Okay. So the last thing, it might come under evaluation, but for this presentation, we are looking specifically at how do we scale scores and why do we scale scores and how do we scale scores. Okay? Okay. Now, identify these scientific symbols. What is the best one? This X here. What does that X stands for? And this is important because we are going to talk about a scaling score which involves these scientific symbols. So to make the formula easy, we need to know what the representations of each of these scientific symbols. So the question is, what is the best symbol stands for? Any idea?
The score?
Yes, student scores. Good. And the next one? This one?
The sum?
Yes, good. And the next one? X with mean. And the last one?
Standard deviation?
Good. Okay. Thank you very much. We have the student scores represented as X. We have this symbol here, which represents some of the students' scores. And then we have average or mean. And then the sigma here stands for standard deviation. Okay, so some of these scientific symbols will be included in our scaling formula. Another, how do we combine these symbols to create some formula, or that is statistical formulas? Okay, look at the first one. The first one is the formula for finding what?
The mean?
Yes. To find the mean, we must calculate the sum of scores, and then we divide. N stands for number of students sitting the test. Okay? So as you can see here, sorry, this one replaces with this formula. As you can see in the previous slides, okay, we have average, and then we have scores, sum of scores, we have X, and we have the sigma for standard deviation. And as we look at this formula, the first one is, as someone says right, this is average is equal to sum of scores divided by number of children sitting the test. Okay? The next formula is the formula for standard deviation. Okay, so that is the sigma, is the scientific symbol for population standard deviation. That means the standard deviation here to be worked out is for the whole class, not for a sample. N is the size of the population or size of number of students sitting the test, and X with a little I is its value from the population. That means each student scores, okay? Score belonging to each student. And the last one, which looks like a letter U, is the mean. Okay, so mean can be represented in two ways: by an X with a dash on top, as you can see here, or it can be represented as this letter U. Okay, and here you can see the meaning is the population mean. That means this average is not a sample average. This average is the all students average, all student average, the students sitting the test. How many of them? 20. So that is the average of the whole population. Okay. Now, let's look at the purpose of scaling student scores. Why must we do this? Why must we scale the student scores? Okay. First reason is that to provide a transparent and justified ranking for school academic performance or for awards or prizes, especially done at the end of the academic year, in which you want to rank your students and you award first prize, second prize, third prize, or even subject prizes. Okay, maths award, English awards, general studies, and so on. Okay, or otherwise the overall performance across all subjects. Okay, now why must we do this? The second reason is that to provide a proportional academic ranking for performance per subjects when the total for each subjects is not the same. Okay, for example, you have an examination of mathematics out of 70, and in English out of 80, and then you have general studies out of 75. So you can see that English is the dominant subject in these three, out of these three. Yes, it has more marks than math and general studies. And whoever is good at English, I mean, bright student or intelligent student in English, English and think the mark will influence. Okay, and this result in the student becoming the best out of all the students. Okay, which means one student who is good in any particular subject can score highest in the sum of scores for all subjects. Okay, and thus we can award a prize for that student. But this is not the right thing to do. As I have said, all of the subjects are not out of the same total. We have maths out of 70, English out of 80, and general studies out of 75. And therefore, you cannot just add the total performance for each subject and you award the highest to the whichever students. Okay, So in this case, we need to do scaling of scores in order to minimize the influence of English over maths and general studies. Okay, thus we come out with the formula for scaling. And because we are talking about proportional distribution of performance across all subjects, we need to scale all the scores for each subject under one standard deviation, that is one common standard deviation, and one common average. Okay, so in this formula, it might look awkward to some of you, or might look frightening, but as we've gone through each of these symbols, you should know what they mean, and it should be a simple formula for you to work with. Okay, so the first one is the standard deviation, and this is a common standard deviation, which is 10. So the value of this standard deviation does not change. It will be always 10. Okay. And the second standard deviation here is standard deviation of the test. So before you apply this formula, you need to calculate the standard deviation of your test. Okay, as well as the average, because you need it here, average of the test. Okay, and the X alone here is each student score. Okay, and then the last one here, the X, another average symbol here, but this is common, and just like the first one here, common standard deviation, which has a value with a value of 10, and common average here will be 50. Okay, so these two values do not change within this formula. Otherwise, all the rest here might be changed, especially the student scores. It changes as you go along the names. Okay, the performance are not the same. Maybe the best student will be 60 out of 70, the next one will be 65 out of 70, and so on. Okay, so the student scores here changes. Whereas the average here is the same, but the average of the test. So you need to calculate the average of the test before you calculate. You can insert this value. Okay. Otherwise, and also the standard deviation of the test. So after you sit your test with your children, you've given your test, then you need to calculate the average of the test and the standard deviation of the test. Okay? Any question? You raised RME or?
Yes, Mr. Ian.
Okay. Okay.
After could you give us an example how we work that formula, how we use that formula, sorry?
Okay. That's good. But before that, I think you jump to why too quickly. We are going to do that as a practice for this afternoon. But just to make sure that all of you understand the scientific symbols and what do they mean, and also you need to consider the order of operation. Okay, all of you know the order of operation in mathematics. What is the name given to the order of operation in mathematics? The order of operation means, because there are many operations, such as we have addition, we have subtraction, and we have multiplication and division. which one comes first in an operation where there are multiple operations inside one equation?
Bracket first.
Yes, bracket first. So in this case, as you see this formula, all things within this bracket will be calculated first. Okay? So that is student score, take away average. Okay? And the next one will be
Divide.
divide, yes, or multiply by the standard deviation on the left. Okay? And the last operation will be addition of the common average. Okay? So you have common standard deviation, for example, we have 10 multiplied by student score, take away average of the test, divide by standard deviation of the test plus 50. Okay? Yes. So that is quite easy. Okay? As long as you know what all this, what each scientific symbol stands for. Okay? Okay, I'm going to share with you now another file, which is practice on how to scale this score. This course, okay? Okay, can you see the text file now?
Yes.
Okay, that is the one that we are going to work with. Okay, so now you have all this performance for your children. This is imaginary result, and you can see we have for Marilyn, Andrew, and Peter. Very small class of five students. Okay, and they have set the English test, maths test, and general test, and these are their raw scores. Okay, we are 45 out of 75, Pope 70 out of 75. We have Marilyn and so on. Okay, and then we have here we put the standard or common mean and standard deviation, which is 10 and average 50. And you should recall this when you look at the presentation. Okay, the 50 here is the common average, and 10 is the common standard deviation. Here, it's also the mean, but this mean belongs to which one?
The test.
Yes, the English test. Okay, and
English
the standard
test.
deviation, the standard deviation here is for the English test. Okay, so these red scores here are the standard deviation and mean of the test. Okay, along the English scale column here is the same, but this is the common one. Okay, 50 and 10, and for math scale here you have 50 and 10, and also for general studies. Okay, so let's start with our formula here. Just in case if you, let's say this is not done yet, let's put it there. Mean, what is the formula for mean? To find the mean of all these scores. Can someone start off? Okay, we start with equal sign.
Yes.
Equal, and then equal what? Equal,
Average.
yes, equal average. So you type the initial name, the initial letter for average, which is A. Okay,
A.
so once you put A inside, you'll have this drop down here, and then you click on average. Okay, and then highlight all the scores, close bracket, and enter. So it's 54.4. And we can get rid of the decimal place by going to format and go to number and replace decimal place to 0. Okay. And then the standard deviation is also equal. And then STDEP. Okay, and this is this one.
P.
Yes. Okay, and then you can highlight all your, sorry. You can highlight all your scores. Like that, and close your bracket and then enter. So you have this, okay? You need these two data in order to execute the scaling formula. Okay? So let's start with this one. Okay? First of all, any Excel formula always starts with equal. So equal, the first one is the first value to enter is
10.
10. So we click on the coordinates for 10, which is C8. And then
Bracket.
bracket, open bracket, then
45.
45, which is student score, and then take away what?
Take away 54.
Take away 54,
54.
close bracket,
Close bracket.
yes, close bracket, and then
Divide by
divide by
8.
8, and then the last one plus
Plus 50.
plus 50. Okay, so now you have completed the formula and something wrong with our formula here. Okay, so we'll try again. We have equal 10 multiply by open bracket. Sorry, I did it wrong. Okay, I'll start again. Equal 10, and 10 is in C8. Multiply open bracket
Bracket.
45. Take away 54.
Divide by
And then divide by 8.
plus 50.
Divide by 8 plus 50, which is down here. Okay, let's see if it works this time. Okay, so the score now, the scale score is 39. Okay, so Lewis scores now is 39 in the scale score, but the row score is 45. Okay, so we know 50 will be higher than 39 and 52 run up with 55, then 52, 52 and then 45 should be the last one. So I think 39 here is the lowest score, and I think all the others here should be higher than 39. Okay, but that is the scale score for Levia. Okay, now we'll apply the same formula for Pope, Marilyn, Andrew, and Peter. And you just scroll down here and you see that there's something wrong now. What's wrong with this as we pull down the same formula?
Should
We
we,
cannot. Yes,
should we copy the formula by pressing F4?
yes, but as you can see here, which of the cell coordinates repeats themselves in this formula? And which one does not repeat?
C8.
Yes, you can see that there are 4 values here that repeats themselves in the that appear in all of this formula for each of these people. Okay, so you have 54, 58, and 10. The only value that does not repeat is the student score, because the next one will be 70 and next one will be 52. So they are not the same, except 54 will always be 54 because that's the average, and the common average is 50. Standard deviation for English test is 8, so that will also repeat, and then we have the common scale standard deviation, which is 10. Okay, so now we instruct Excel to repeat this formula. So we highlight C8, which is 10, and we press F4. Okay, and then the other one is P7. We highlight P7 and we press F4 again. And I think the 2 last one also. Okay, F4 for that one, and the last one, C7. Okay, so hopefully now the formula will execute in all other students. Okay, so you can pull down now and you can see all the scores. Scale scores are these 2 scores. Okay, while the real scores, row scores are put on this side. Okay, and these blue ones are the scale scores. Okay, so we do the same for maths, and maths here is out of 80, English is out of 75. So, okay, so here we execute the same formula. Sorry about this disruption. I think I can open. Okay, so we start again with equal, then 10, multiply, open bracket, then we have the student score, which is 75, minus average, which is 52, close bracket, then divide by 16, and plus 50. Okay, so this to provide this scale score for mathematics. Okay, but we already know that if we want to duplicate the formula across all or other children, remaining children here, then we need to do the same thing. So we highlight E8, which is the common 10 standard formula, and we press F4. Okay, and then we highlight D7 and we press F4 again. We have T8, F4, and then we have E7. Okay, and we have F4. So 65, yeah, you just go down and it will put all the other scale scores for mathematics. The same for general scores, all scores equal, then multiply, open bracket, 54,
54,
take away
away
56,
56,
divide by
3,
3 plus 50.
50.
Yes, and we do the same again. We highlight T7, F4, F8, F4, and F7 is average of the test, F4, and then T8, which is 10. It's a common standard deviation. Okay, and when we enter, now you have this score. 54 is 44 for Lewia. Okay, then we scroll down. So here is the scale scores in blue and the row scores in black. Okay. Now, first of all, we need to calculate the total of the row scores. The scores in this black color. Okay. So how do we calculate the sum of the scores in Excel?
Equals
Equal
11 score. P2
yes, but before we go to, yes, you can do that. One is that one. Otherwise, we use sum.
sum.
Equal sum. Okay.
Sum.
Equal sum,
Hmm?
and then you double click on sum,
Sum.
and then B2,
P2
B2
T2
plus
D2
D2 plus
F2.
F2, and then close bracket,
Okay.
enter. So that is the total row scores for Libya. Okay, all the black scores here. The total is 174.
2, F2. Okay.
Okay, so you can see in this formula, you have equal sum P2 plus T2 plus F2 close bracket. Okay, and I guess it will work for all the rest. So you just scroll down and you have the total for all of these students. Okay, so you have 174, you have 152, 169, and 152, and 162. Okay. Okay, and it's the same for the scale total. Okay, total of the blue scores, which are scale scores, equal sum C2 plus E2 plus
G2
G2.
G2.
And then close bracket,
bracket.
and then it's
Enter.
1.8. Yeah, and then you can now you have your two sets of scores. This is the total row scores, and this column here is the scale, total scale score. Okay. Now, It looks as if some are explaining to others how to do this, and that's a good thing to do, to learn together. Okay, but while you can discuss as we go along, but to finish off this table now, we rank the row marks, okay? So these are the total row marks, and we can rank, because there are very few students, you can just rank by looking at the biggest, and then and so on, okay? So this, yes, biggest to the smallest, okay? So, but in some cases where there are so many children in one class, you might end up with 40 or 52, then it's quite hard to rank in this way, okay? So we need to put a formula for ranking in such cases, okay? So here, equal rank.
Equal
So double click on rank, and then click on H2.
H2.
And then you have this, what is this? I don't know what the symbol.
Formula.
No, I'm not to lie on material. H2 after the point here to the line. After you repeating H2 again. Okay?
So, but you click the H2 2 times.
Yes. But you put equal rank, so go to rank comes last in this list. Then you click on H2, which is 174, and then you put that two full stop sign. Okay, and then you click again on H2, and then you highlight all the other scores. Click again on H2, and then scroll. Scroll to the last score. Okay, highlight to the last score, and then you close your bracket. Okay, so now you have in your formula H2, and then H2 again versus H2 to H6. Okay, so the value of H2 is now compared to the scores from H2 to H6. Okay, and you close your bracket, and then you enter.
Press enter.
Something wrong with the formula. H2.
No, it cannot be H2 again.
H2.
Okay, it looks as if we are stuck with this. We need to check H2, then we repeat H2, and then
You repeat H6. And then you press enter. That's what we just said. Okay.
something wrong with this. Anyway, we'll do it manually since we cannot go through with this formulation. There are only a few children here, so we can do it manually. We'll come back to that formula later on. I don't know what's wrong with what we entered. Okay, but by looking at the scores, who got the highest score?
Lewia.
They were. So Lewia comes first. Lewia comes first. Second one,
Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Marilyn comes second.
Third with
And
Peter.
Peter,
Peter.
Then Peter.
174 and 19, then we have Peter. Peter is the third one.
Then
And
Andrew
lastly
and Bob.
is
Bob,
Andrew and Bob.
Or these two what to say.
Yes, amen. We want to say why.
Okay, we'll come back to that formula for ranking since I think many of you have more than 10 students, 20, 30. Okay, so that would be difficult to rank manually. Okay, but we'll come back to that maybe in our next presentation. I need to check the formula and what's wrong with it. Okay, now let's go to the final ranking, and this comes from the scaling total of scaling scores. So that who comes first here? Who ranks first?
Andrew.
Hmm?
Andrew.
Andrew.
No.
Andrew.
It's Andrew.
Andrew is
Andrew.
146. 146.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Hmm?
Andrew, 158.
Andrew.
Yes.
Andrew
Yes.
comes first. Second,
Peter.
Peter comes second.
Lewia.
And then Lewia, number 3. And then
Marilyn
Marilyn.
and Bob.
And the last one is
Bob.
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 Okay? Now, for your selection for prizes, which one will you follow? The best ranking or the second one?
Final
second?
ranking. Final ranking.
Yes. Yes, the final ranking. Why?
Because we have
Okay, the reason being that all of these tests now are under one standard deviation and one common average. Okay, and that's why we follow the last rank. Okay, so if we are going to award prizes for the students, for example, first, second, and third places, first prize will be given to
Andrew. You know.
to Andrew.
Yes.
Okay,
Andrew.
first prize will be given to Andrew, not Lewia. But Lewia came first in row ranking. Okay, this means that Lewia is very good at mathematics. So one of these, he got 75 out of 80, and that's why the 75 will override the general and English row scores, and therefore puts Lewia at the top. Okay? And when we scale all these go under one common standard deviation and one common average, now Lewia Lewia's position is third. Okay? So no longer first, but now third. So she will get a third prize. Okay? And second prize will go to Peter. If for the row ranking is it comes third. Okay? His position is third, but now second. Okay? But Peter, who comes fourth in row ranking, now comes first in scale ranking. That means Peter performs a good average for all the three subjects. Okay? While Lewia is so good at mathematics only. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, and that's the end of our presentation for scaling and ranking this afternoon. If you have any questions before I leave, you can ask. If you are lost along the way, as we do this exercise, starting from the presentation until we finish this exercise, you can replay our YouTube clip and you follow again if you come late or if you cannot catch up with what we have gone through. Okay, but just in case if you have any question, you can ask.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy. Also, mo ask him. Fula belum mi fala I pisilel petlol work pe mi fala staff fula mo presentation pe mi leke mi acknowledge lo we putum lo YouTube mi fala staff follow up lo YouTube.
Okay. So for anything you play confused yet, you play just rewind them no more movie go play them back and stop the place with whatever rewind them.
Potulem slow pa mi katsable.
Yes. And now you play you so much in the camlo hand play ya pro award more prices you play no pocket lo plan skills ya. And then I use some law selection pro student for secondary schools. We use some law selection for teachers college intake exam. And we same something. And the same formula. And we one conventional formula we use round law wall and I may formula in the current. So it's PPA first time when I wear me ECAP, quarter assessment and evaluation, or PT. Okay? So any new, maybe any new low sum, any typical low sum, especially you work a word to computer, you have a application, you work a word, go, not like Excel within for Excel, and still more to do with mathematics. So you mean every time you come to mathematics, you mean no use some word and you play English. Law mathematics in use some Excel. From formulation, scientific formula, everything is start finish. Or simple start finish. It's written and easy. Okay? The funny compare on example, otherwise you play compare previous week, more look one in formula flow ranking from me post and finish. Somehow you to work out by minute look look one in wrong. And then I can be correct them next Thursday by any last day and by any revision week. By me go through law blueprint law examination law MIGS221. And me 1 3-hour exam. Moi cover up every something when we make a week 1 kasem this week. We gave me last week, but since we got one wrong, something with the formula, we need to update the new law with the blueprint law examination, we got the course along then maybe by slightly different law all the face to face. Okay. So while you establishing, pockets by Kosia, and we got one online examination where we for 3 hours from any 1 degree course. So you need to revise code. How you revise by me come up. I think it could in me come early, from next week and me revision week. So suppose me say come early lo Monday or Tuesday, from me preview lo format to examination more blueprint lo keep him out with them more list all items or question whereby you likely to answer them during law examination. Is it? Or you play right to exam now, you play your paper 1.
Everyone could something. Me look me very good. Lo you catch up from help me from emplo test you misa yusun.
Yes. Actually, every teacher, he must have a three something. First one, then he must have a learning outcome when we teaching about any subject, about any level concept. Okay. Next one, any must have a different types of method for teaching topic here. Everyone must be you must label under constructivist learning. Huh? And so number two pillar. Now last pillar, we must have a outlaw assess. Assess case to me a formative assessment. Now we call them assessment for learning. And then we got summative assessment when we involve them exam or test. We start talk about now. We call them now or assessment for of learning. So one AFL, one AOL. Okay, so now we talk about AOL. But the beginning we talk about all different types of formative assessment. We talk about constructive alignment in mathematics, how we align learning outcome, how we come teaching outcome activities, and how we end up assessment. Okay. This one we talk about now the conclusion we might use 221. Any summative assessment, more how now you make use of all result law exam review. More two, you report them color academic report or principle, and then by me come up law. I can say kami we cut break up when we our beginning we cut all prices, only cut a price from overall performance. You know from me at them up scores kita after one we go to mathematics then we current base price or the way play look case or leeway. Okay, time is scale now leeway come number 3, they come number 1. Okay? So what thank you too much for participation. I mean just over 1 hour start lottery come to then passport. So by me look people are packing pay play need to play agree. I tell on Monday or Tuesday, but making blueprint more information for examination.
Thank you, Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you too much.
Thank you.
So have a nice evening. Take care. And from me, we finish now. Yeah, by me come back. People tell them Monday, Tuesday, Monday, one Thursday by late from after next week na exam.
Monday.
Especially Monday, yeah. They need to play agree, yeah. Monday we come to preview about exam or by making two blueprint to exam. According to every topic information or whatever when we go through learn the week 1 to week this week. Okay, so and maybe last week lo foreign course and we might explain them formula yan mo one narla video we just put lo mutol lo week 13. Okay, or we might give you one link on YouTube when we talk about formula. Okay. By me try make execution lo Excel lo model. Okay, so suppose you look lo with 13 model, by you sabi access them this files, PowerPoint presentation, more Excel file with sabi. So good one to you open them Excel file after you make them practice there. And also lo end lo examination review, and now any last question. Okay. Last question, we got 10 marks. So suppose you score them, put you make a straight row, straight scaling, then by you current every 10 marks. Okay, but what them examination by use of Excel, by use of calculator. So make sure you got one scientific calculator, more column formula lo Excel, and it's a mark lo calculator. You pull them rule lo PEMTAS or some place as a port mass, or suppose you learn under lo Japanese volunteers by you learn by one pyramid order Now, unit number plus the type student with them calculator at them computer, you end up with the same value or same answer. Okay, thank you, Thomas. Oh, goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.